Legend Vipers here, and today we are going to be reviewing the Diamond Select Toys Minimates. This is the Back to the Future Part 3 Time Machine Mini Vehicle with Old West Marty McFly. This is one of the sets that came out a couple of years ago, I believe. It came out to advertise the movie. They had a bunch of other ones. They had a Part 1 Delorean, which I do actually have with me here. The Part 1 DeLorean, it is a nice car, I'll give it that. It was always weird seeing it with the Minimates because it looked really awkward with this back part for some reason. I'm going to be touching base on this one in particular in the future, but for now we're going to be reviewing Part 3. Kind of going in it a little bit backwards, but that's okay. To start off, we have Marty on the front cover from the Old West. It says Art of Asylum. They're the people who kind of put this stuff out. And then, of course, Diamond Select Toys. A nice picture of the DeLorean down there in front with Marty in it. Sorry for the glare. You can't really see it, I guess. If we turn it around, we can see a picture of the DeLorean itself. It says, Rail Ready Time Machine Mini Vehicle. Fits 2 Minimates minifigures. And there's Marty McFly looking like Clint Eastwood. It says, right here, the read up. Clear it up for you guys so you guys can kind of see it. It says, well, there's no place there are plenty of worse places to be in than the Old West. On a mission to save his friend, Dr. Emmett Brown, Marty McFly, must travel back to Hill Valley of 1885 and bring Doc back before he's shot. But the time machine is out of gas thanks to a stray arrow, and will never reach the 88 miles per hour it requires to activate the time circuits. In order to bring it up to speed, this time machine is going to have a ride on the rails. Or have to ride the rails, I should say. If you want to have more content like this, you can actually go over to www.diamondselecttoys.com and you can pick this stuff up for yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute, open it up, and I'm going to come back to it. I will say this with a caution, because I'm a collector, I do like to keep the boxes in mint condition, so it's going to take me a minute. To mention while I'm opening this, one thing that always teaked me with these things is that when you put the stickers on, it's ridiculous. I feel like they should be putting the stickers on themselves as the company they are, but I'm not the one who is to judge that. I'm just saying it's annoying as a person who wants to make these things look perfect. I have to manually put them on myself, and I have a very high risk of messing these up. And I don't want to mess them up, because if I mess them up, it's going to look ugly. So there's a little pet peeve I have with these particular sets. The box out of the way and everything's open. Let's first take a look at the accessories he comes with. One of the first accessories he comes with is an alternate headpiece. So I guess you can have it where he's either wearing his hat or he's not wearing his hat. You can have that as an option. But he also comes with a hoverboard, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the film, go watch it. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it by now, but the scene when Marty passes Doc to hoverboard in the Old West to save Clara, that's why it's included in the set. I actually wasn't expecting them to actually include it in this set, but if it's rail ready, I guess this would be the scene where he passes Doc the hoverboard. It's nicely detailed. It looks just like it did in the film. Try to focus it there. I don't know if it's going to pick up any of the detailing. It may not. It's not wanting to focus, I guess. I'd hope it would have. I guess you can kind of see it says hoverboard there. And it's got the detailing from 2015 and stuff like that. Even it has like the little circular discs on the bottom to simulate the fact that it would in fact hover on magnetic energy. Before we get into the car, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Marty himself. So this would obviously be towards the end of the film when he's all dressed up in this thick poncho, and he looks pretty snazzy with it. I will say it does prohibit some moving ability because his arms can't move under it because it's so bulky. And I don't even know if you're able to even sit him in the DeLorean with this on. You might have to take it off. He has like that flat red hat. Obviously, like we said, you can take off this headpiece and put on this one if you want to make him look more like he's in the DeLorean. And of course, if you don't want to have him with this poncho on, you can just pop the head off and remove the poncho. Which, I don't know why they made it a solid, like, plastic material. They should do it more like a softer rubber, or even maybe like a leather or a felt. Doing it as a hard plastic, I mean, I feel like that kind of prohibits a lot of capabilities. But his undershirt looks like just like a regular, like, plain old dress undershirt that he wears during the sequence with 10 in there, when they're at the revealing of the clock, or the starting of the clock. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like the start of it all. We will be reviewing a box set that has the festival version of Marty and Doc. We will be getting to them in the future. Not that far in the future, but we will get to the festival Marty and Doc, as well as Claire and Seamus. But this is our standard Marty McFly. With the poncho on, he still has movement in his legs. These guys come apart really easy. I've always lost their feet every time, or their hands. But I'm going to try to keep this guy intact. And you can ride the hoverboard if you really want him to. Not that this is the movie he's really riding his hoverboard in. This is more or less if Doc was in this set, you could pass him the hoverboard, I guess. You could put Doc on it, but... And also, it's very hard to stand with like a shaky desk because he does fall over. So, for comparison, I don't have the other one on hand right now, but I do have two other versions of Marty. I have 1985 Marty from the 1985 box set, and I have Marty from the Part 1 DeLorean set here, so we can kind of do a little bit of comparing here. So, the hairstyles have pretty much stayed the same through all the figures. They haven't really changed over the years. They pretty much kept them the same. You can kind of see that. The only exclusion of these two is just one has the puffy vest, one doesn't. And then Marty from 1885 has this big poncho on, but pretty much they use the same face sculpt multiple times. These two look very similar, and this one's the only difference. I mean, there was another one that came with the 1985 set, which was this one. But I don't even know what I would use this one for. It looks like he's tired. Anyways, let's move on from Marty. Let's get into the actual DeLorean. Let's move these guys out of the way for now. The DeLorean itself, it looks nice. It's nicely detailed. It looks just like it did in 1885. Obviously, this is the movie that everything went from nice, clean, shiny chrome look of the car to run down, old, dirty because of the rust of the car. You can definitely see the wear and tear. And obviously it has this new time circuits on it, because obviously the old one was destroyed. I wonder why this circuit failed. It says made in Japan. What are you talking about, Doc? All the best stuff's made in Japan. But for the most part, it's pretty similar detailing to the Part 1. I'll bring that one in. Only difference being the chrome. And, of course, Mr. Fusion on the back. I don't know where Mr. Fusion is. I don't even know if that's supposed to be Mr. Fusion. It looks like there's something supposed to sit there. I couldn't find it. It's not in the box. So I don't know if they messed up or something like that, but... Very similar cars. The license plates are obviously different. But let me tell you something. Both of which had stickers that were a pain. I won't go into grave detail about these, but if you look in there, the flux capacitor is a sticker. That's a sticker. The dashboard I couldn't even get on straight because I think they even, I think there was actually a mess up. There's a spider web in there or something. Can't even clean that out. But looks like there's like the wheel was too high up or something and it cut off the dashboard. The time circuits are actual stickers, as well as these little suckers here. These little things there. I mean, I understand, like, they gotta, like, do certain things and all that, and they have to have some things for the company, but, I mean, come on now, guys. You're gonna tell me that your company couldn't put those in for people so that they wouldn't mess up with it? I got lucky and I was using tweezers, that way it wouldn't mess up so bad. That's my recommendation. If you're gonna put these stickers on these cars, make sure you use tweezers, because that's the easiest way you're gonna get them into place. But like I already did, the doors do open up on the DeLorean, both sides. The dual wing doors. I still love that feature with the DeLorean. To this day, I still love that feature. For a comparison, let's bring in the Part 1 again. So you got those two back to back. Let's back these up actually. Let's bring in a Hot Wheels DeLorean for a size comparison. We'll also bring in a DMC 12 DeLorean. And just because I have it on hand at the moment and we're going to be reviewing it anyway, how about the Lego Back to the Future car on the end there? So you can kind of see the size comparison. It almost kind of fits along with the DeLorean. If you look at it size-wise, it kind of fits the Lego DeLorean a little bit more than, say, the Hot Wheels. But you can kind of see that's a size comparison to how big a Hot Wheel is in the Lego car. If you happen to own the Lego one, that's what it kind of looks like. So it's overall decently sized, and obviously you can put your figures in it if you want. This Marty, I wouldn't say would go in here well. But what I like to do with these particular figures, if I can, is I try to match the pose that's seen in the cover artwork of the film. But because I don't have, say, like moving capability here, let me grab a little stand. What I like to do with these things is I like to make sure they look kind of accurate to how they were in the film. And obviously, if you've seen the box artwork for the film, you know that Marty is always stepping into the DeLorean, so I'd always do something like this. Just to kind of set the mood, like, okay, he's stepping into the DeLorean like he is on the cover. That's what I do with this one. That's why he looks the way he does, because he's stepping into the Part 1 DeLorean like he was on the cover. That's really the one way I would say you can display him. You can even display him like holding the hoverboard, stepping into the DeLorean if you really wanted to. Because, I mean, that would be kind of like, oh, he's going back to the future or whatever. But the hoverboard doesn't exactly fit in his hand. His hand's a little too small to fit the thing, but you gotta like force it in there a bit. But there you go. So there you go. That is kind of how you'd probably display him, to be honest. Because how else would you display him? I mean, you could display him in the car. You could just keep him in the box, like a lot of people do. The only reason why I opened up mine was for the review purposes. That's literally what this channel is only going to be. Opening up stuff, reviewing it for you guys, so that if you guys want to get these items, you can. Next episode, we're going to be taking a look at this set right here. This is the 1885 box set we're going to be taking a look at next. But as in the next episode, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next episode. Adios.